Hey y'all, welcome to Valley Soap's YouTube channel. Today I have the privilege of showing you what I've made for the 2020 YouTube soap collab called Flower Power. This collaboration is hosted by Renee Cormalis, and there are a ton of other soapers who are participating in this collab as well. So there is a tag linked down below that if you have time after you've watched this video, if you would like to check out other unique creations, you can just click on that link and then watch all the other videos as well. There are several requirements for this collab, and I'll hit those as we come to them. And this first one is we were supposed to choose from either adding some form of an embed or piping or both for our soap. So as you'll see later on that I chose to do both. So we're starting out with our melt and pour embed. Obviously this is a cute little picket fence. This mold I actually got from the Wish app, and it didn't take too long as far as shipping goes, but I knew that when I saw this mold I was definitely going to be using it this spring. I didn't know how I was going to be using it, but I knew that I needed it. So the next requirement was to use some form of natural clay, natural items, so either clay, flowers, powdered herbs, activated charcoal, anything. So we use the green sea clay, and I'm so sorry that the handle of that spatula is in the way, but I'm just mixing it up and dispersing those clumps in a little bit of olive oil. Here I've got the hard oils just barely melted because my lye water was still a little bit warm, so I knew that it was going to continue to melt when I mixed the two together. And in this next shot you'll see the batter after the liquid oils have been added. So I just mixed to a trace here. And then I'm pouring off a little bit for the green, which obviously will be colored by the clay. So the fragrance oil I used for this batch is called Energy by Brambleberry. As you can tell, it's a really dark yellow color. Brambleberry lists that this fragrance will discolor to an off-white in cold process soap, but it does behave very well in cold process as well. And I feel like with this batch it even slowed trace down. But I will tell you, it smells amazing. So I poured off a little bit of this green, and that's to save for my piping on top. So green was one of the colors that we were supposed to use in this collaboration as well. So I've used the clay, and then now I'm also adding in soap shreds that I'm kind of tearing apart here, and it'll break into smaller pieces too as I blend it up. So I know that this looks like a really awful shade of green right now, but I promise you it looks a lot better in the end. So for the sky portion of the soap, I'm going to use the blue-green mica, and I'm going to mix that in really good. Usually I will disperse the mica in oil before I add it to the soap. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't do that. So before I add in titanium dioxide, I'm going to pour off some of that blue, so I'll have a darker shade of blue with the lighter blue. So as another embed, I decided to use more soap scraps for the sky. So the sky will be blue and then it will have specks of white in it. So I'm pouring in the darker blue into the lighter blue and did it in the pot swirl in the pour, just because I was okay with if my blues kind of muddled together. Now I will tell you, while I'm pouring this into the loaf mold, my heart sank because I knew that the green was not set up enough yet and the blue was going to puncture that layer. It didn't actually look as bad as I thought it would, so I'm actually pleased with how it turned out. I'm really glad that I didn't totally destroy what I had. And now we're moving on to probably my most favorite part of making soap, which is playing in the soap tops. I feel like the soap tops are my playground, and this I really did just spend a lot of time just swirling around and just kind of just playing around with what the top would look like with the two different shades of blue here. And I just took a wood skewer and was just dragging that through there. Now that our final embed is on top, we can move on to one of the last steps, which is piping our grass. I'm actually using a leaf tip by Wilton, and what I've done is I've taken the green soap batter. After it's thickened up enough for me, I put it onto just a sheet of cling wrap, and I have twisted up the sides and then cut off one of those sides and put that into the piping bag. So I've sped this video up quite a bit because it took a lot of time just to go through and pipe that much on top. Y'all, I am so happy with how this turned out. It smells absolutely amazing, and the leaves really do actually look like grass. And then the picket fence and the sky and the grounds with the different colors in there. I am very excited with how this one turned out. So here's a cutting of this loaf. I actually cut all of my bars to 1 inch size, and then I go through and clean up this soap as well. I actually have another video of the acrylic planer and beveler that I use that I can link above as well if you guys want to check that out. Check out my review of it and how I use it. So here we go. Before it is all cleaned up, you can see all the little bumps that the wire leaves in there. So I'm using a peach red mica, and I'm using this cute little stamp that I also got from the Wish app. And funny story, the shipping on this literally took forever. That when I got it in the mail, I was like, what is this? What did this, who ordered this? Where did it come from? Until I opened the package, and then I knew exactly what it was. And then I thought, yay, now I can work on my soap. So the last requirement for this soap was that you have to have another color besides the green. So my secondary color was red. So I'm super excited with how this soap turned out. It is so beautiful. And I just want to thank Renee for hosting this collab. And if you would like to see other creations, feel free to click on the tagged link below. Have a great day, y'all.